What's happening, YouTube? It's your homie guys, Kuma, coming back at you with another video. And today's video is all about a new era. We're going into Wave 3, and I'm excited to see what the characters and cards from this wave, what they'll do. As you can see in front of you, I have a card deck, but not just any card deck. I call it Run This Town. It features Runabout, Runamuck, and then Decepticon's Dragstrip. Now, I'm picking Dragstrip because, not necessarily because he's a Decepticon, but he fits the bill in terms of, fitting the 25 stars. Runamuck and Runabout are both 20 together, or 10 and 10, and then Dragstrip is 5. So there was no other 5 or lower star car worth running. Maybe like Detour, but this is more predominantly orange heavy deck. There's some blue in here, possibly that trigger Dragstrip, but they're not in here specifically to try to trigger Dragstrip. They're just good cards, and then plus, of course, Dragstrip's a car to help with the car-related cards. Car-related cards. Did you catch that? All right. So with that, yeah, this deck is really interesting. This is the first character duo that work together. Runamuck, when you flip him to his bot mode, of course everybody starts in alt mode. When you start the game, ideally you'll flip Runamuck, and what he does is he lets you draw a card. And then if you have Runabout on the battlefield, you also flip Runabout to his bot mode. And what that lets you do is set up for the next turn for Runabout to be able to heal, because ideally, you may or may not attack with Dragstrip on the first turn, it depends, but let's say you do attack with the Runamuck. What'll happen is, of course you'll attack, and then when they attack back, you should be taking damage, and whatever damage you take on your next turn, you flip Runabout to his bot mode, and what he lets you do is he lets you heal repair 1 damage off of him, and then if you have Runamuck on the battlefield, you're able to repair 1 damage off Runamuck. So you're able to definitely get a lot of healing. There's a lot of flip cards in the deck to be able to manipulate that, and just a lot of cool tricks and just fun things you can do with the deck. Yeah, so I want to think. Yeah, okay, so I don't have to repair 1 from Runabout in order to repair the 1 from Runamuck. I wanted to make sure of that detail. But yeah, so with that, let's jump into the deck profile. Alright guys, and to start off with the deck profile, this is 40 cards. I think I have about 22 actions in here. Starting off with the actions, we have 3 Pieces to Tyranny. Again, this is more on the heavier side. This is kind of like the Wheeljack Prowl and Wheeljack Prowl Bumblebee deck. Of course, it's not as strong. It's just a different way of playing the card deck. It's all Decepticon deck. One of their weaknesses right off the bat, you can say definitely press the advantage is going to hurt. So that's going to be an issue. But, with the tricks that it can do, maybe it can get a lot of damage and overwhelm your opponent before they're able to do a lot of what they want to do. Because Runamuck gets you cards, Dragstrip gets you cards, so it lets you get more of your options in your hand, and so you can hit hard. So starting out, we have Peace to Tyranny. Ideally, I'll probably never use its actual effect to KO Runamuck or Runabout. I might, depending on if I have turbo boosters in my hand or whatever to, combo and untap and get another attack on a character or whatever the case is. So, but of course, in any predominantly heavy orange deck, you definitely play 3 Pieces to Tyranny. So, mainly in here for this double orange icons. Next up, for your some of your strongest cards in the deck, we have 3 One Shall Stand, One Shall Fall, and 3 Reckless Charge. These cards are all just ridiculous, especially there's a card that I'm playing in with my weapons that, a mini combo, I guess you could say, with One Shall Stand, One Shall Fall. But these cards are just great. The fact that you heal with Runabout lets you pretty much take 2 on your character and 3 on their characters, and then depending on if you have any of your flip cards in your hand, you might be able to heal more than 1 in a turn with Runabout's effect. But this is all about dealing a lot of damage, and then the fact that you're able to heal is very nice too. So just great cards all around, especially obviously in an aggressive deck. And then to start out with our flip cards to do a lot of really cool tricks with these cards with the characters is Rollout. Rollout, of course, is the best of both worlds. You flip it on defense, of course, it has the blue icon, and of course on attack it has the orange icon. So again, best of both worlds. And yeah, you can start your turn with flipping Runamuck to draw a card, and then flip Runabout, and then on your next turn you can activate Rollout, flip both of these characters back to alt mode, and then you can heal 1 off Runabout and heal 1 off Runamuck or whatever the case is. And then since you didn't do your flip for the turn, you can flip Runamuck again, draw another card, and then flip Runabout back. So just a lot of cool things you can do with it. Again, this is untested, but it's just a whole bunch of flipping, I'll say that. So to get you a lot of card advantage, to be able to always have options every turn, and then Runamuck's healing you at the same time, so it's pretty cool. And in conjunction with those cards, I'll just show the other 6 here. Of course, we have Rapid Conversion and then Start Your Engines. Rapid Conversion, I was thinking about, okay, I was playing Quartermaster at first, and then I looked at Quartermaster. I'm not playing any Battle Masters. I was thinking about Quartermaster to move some of my weapons over, like Turbo Boosters or the other ones I'll show you here in a second, because they'll be relevant, especially when they move. They'll trigger again. With this upcoming format, they're going to be very important, and I'll talk about that here in a second. But Rapid Conversion seems to just fit. I also considered Escape Route, because Escape Route is it is a one character rollout. You flip one of your characters from bot mode to alt mode, so you can get it on, at command whenever you flip it, because it has a green icon. But I just felt like Rapid Conversion was better because it lets you flip from whichever mode to the other mode, and it could help with triggering your effects depending on what turn you're in, and depending on the game state. And of course, Start Your Engines is the best car support card. If you have it, you can definitely flip Runamuck on your first turn, draw a card, attack with him. If you have Start Your Engines, play Start Your Engines, flip him back, and you flip both of these back, and then heal one with Runabout, and then flip Runabout. Not Runabout. I'm getting confused now. Flip Runamuck again, draw a card, and then flip him back. So just a lot of cool stuff you can do to help you to get multiple attacks. Of course, again, this is the best card support card. So we have 9 flip cards. Moving on. To round out the last bit of my actions, we have 2 Ramming Speed. Ramming Speed and Vaporize have come back in full force with the new format coming with weaponizers and battle masters, and these monsters, these characters turning into weapons now. Ramming Speed and Vaporizer coming back in full effect. Utilities are even more relevant now, and again, weapons nowadays. So playing 2 of these for now. Might consider playing 3 for now, but with space and the way the deck is constructed, just playing 2 for now. So definitely relevant coming up in this meta. Next up, we have 1 Treasure Hunt. Treasure Hunt helps us search or fish for some of our most powerful upgrades in our deck. And then Marksmanship. I'm only playing 1 Marksmanship. Now, Drag Strip is ranged in his bot mode, but you'll almost never flip it. But you also do have Runabout. Now, Runabout is ranged in both modes, which is nice. So the ramming speed, the Marksmanship is always live, as long as your opponent has a character in bot mode. Now, of course, when Runabout dies, then you only have Drag Strip left. But late game, if Runabout's being KO'd, then Drag Strip probably already was KO'd. And then on top of that, or in conclusion with that, that's the only reason why I'm playing only 1, because it's a blue, I don't want to dilute the deck too much with so many blue, but it's a good card. It's direct damage, and again, like I said, Runabout is ranged in both modes. So that rounds out the actions. I want to say about 22 actions. Yep. 3, 6, 9. Yep. All right, 22 actions, and then moving on to the upgrades. Of course, one of the upgrades you always start your orange decks out with: Grenade Launcher. Not too much to say about it. Put it on any of your characters. Go big or go home. Next up, we have 3 Energon Axes. This is the card I was talking about in a mini combo with 1 Shot Stand, 1 Shot Fall. It's an oldie but a goodie. Play 1 Shot Stand on one of your characters. Now it's damaged. You put Energon Axe on it, and then it's nice that you're able to heal damage with Runabout. So depending on how many times you're able to heal throughout the game, you could definitely put this axe on and then heal one of your characters, or one of your Runabout or Runamuck, or both, which is nice, and go from there. So definitely one of the strongest blue icon cards in the game. Next up, we have 2 Erratic Lighting. This card is always solid. It's an orange icon. Gives you 3 attack. 3 is that magic number. Not magic number. 3 is that very powerful number that we have here. And it gives you -1 defense, but you're not playing that many. You're going for aggressive. You're going for aggressive pushes rather. And making Runabout or Runamuck 7/8 attack before they attack, plus your upgrade for the turn is very strong. Next up, for my last weapon, we have Enforcement Batons. This is one of the cards that I was talking about in conjunction with Quartermaster. This and Bastion Shield. Let's talk about it like you guys don't know what Bastion Shield is by this point. You play Quartermaster, and when you move and upgrade to another character, you trigger the effect again, just like with swap parts. So if your opponent has 2 weapons out, you can play Enforcement Batons, scrap the 1 weapon, and then play Quartermaster, move it over to another character, and scrap another weapon. So very powerful. It's going to be very relevant again with weaponizers or the Battle Master, whichever one. The ones that die and become weapons. I'm still getting used to all the keywords. But yeah, might even side deck too. Not even might, like at least 1 more in the side deck. You'll see him fast enough, being that it's a green icon, and all the flips and drawing that you're doing throughout the game. So definitely going to be, again, very relevant in the upcoming meta. So go find your Enforcement Batons and get ready to use them. And with that, let's jump into the armors. Not much to say about this. Literally just in here for the double icon. I may late game play this only because I do play some blue in the deck. So that's only late, very late game. Otherwise, you're going to always use it to pitch for a green icon card or to do whatever with, or I'm not playing incoming transmission, but you're definitely never equipped it. Like I said, maybe super late game you might play it, just try to get that extra mile and find another blue icon to help you survive. But other than that, just in there for the 3 icons, or the double orange icon. And then 2 Bashing Shield, and I play 1 Force Field. Force Field I think is going to be very good, of course, coming up in the new meta, especially with a lot of focus on, not a lot of focus, but just in general, it's going to be your opponent has to have it type thing. They're going to have to play their ramming speed on their force field and then not get rid of your weapon. It's going to be a lot more decision making with your opponent's removal, disruption. So Bashing Shield, of course, is always great. With blue decks on the higher on the rise, blue decks got a lot of love with this set, with a lot of their blue-green armors and things like that. So Bashing Shield is always great. Definitely be side decking a third one of these and maybe 1 or 2 more force fields. But definitely can come in clutch. It's a high risk, high reward card. If it can stick, it could possibly win you the game because your opponent has to use an attack, and then you get to stand or do whatever, and get more value out of your characters. And then last but not least, to round out the 40 cards, we have 3 Turbo Booster. Turbo Booster, of course, one of the main staples in a card deck. You can flip when you flip Runamuck the first turn and draw a card, and then flip Runabout, to bot mode as well. Then on your next turn, you can flip Runabout back to alt mode, and then flip Runamuck because he's tapped and you attacked with him, and then you can play Turbo Booster on the Runamuck and then flip him back, and then if you have Rapid Conversion, you can flip him back again and then flip him and draw another card, and then you have 6 attack, and then you get this attack again, and you still have 2 attacks that you haven't used. So many cool things seem like you can do, and it seems very combo oriented, and I'm all about combo decks. And as the game goes on, I'm seeing, just with something as simple as this, I'm seeing that combo decks will eventually really be a thing. I will say, side note, like that Soundwave deck is kind of cool. I think I might want to build that Soundwave deck to do a lot of untapping and very interesting things I had saw. So with that, that's the rest of the deck, and that's the whole deck profile. So with that, yeah, I'm hoping to get some gameplay in this. I'm not going to front. It's going to be kind of tough to get in gameplay. I'm going to shoot you guys a whole bunch of deck profiles, though. I got 1 or 2 more coming up this week. I'm going to try to, I uploaded my case opening on my phone, but it's kind of difficult to get it on my computer for some reason, and dealing with iCloud and all this other crap. But I'm going to try to get that up so you guys can see what I pulled in my case. And if I can't, then maybe I'll post a picture of what I pulled, so don't hold me to that. But besides that, yeah, I'm going to try to get some gameplay in with these decks that I'm showing you, whether it's with Vector Sigma or the guys over at Sum 41. Shout out to both of those teams, and yeah, so figure it out one way or another. With that, I'm going to stop saying and work on that and get up out of here. You guys have a great day, great night, wherever you're at watching this video, and I will catch you guys in my next deck profile / whatever video I make next. All right, guys, this is S. Akuma heading out. Peace.